Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and it is the last Thursday of the month and I'm getting messy with Scrappy Kathy and friends. We're featuring a new scrap lift every month, and this one is by Julie Taylor, and we're lifting her with our own interpretation of that amazing layout. I want to keep true to it, so I've pulled all the pieces that I think are going to be necessary to create a very similar layout, because I really do like the way it is set out. So I have my bits and pieces, and the first thing I have to do is create the media background. So using a stencil from Scrapper Sketch, I am putting in this circle base, which is pretty similar to the original. And I'm using squeezed lemonade here, and also lumberjack, the lumberjack plaid, which is both from Tim Holtz. And I just love the combination of the red and yellow. Although my mum used to always say, don't wear red and yellow together because it reminds you of eggs and tomato sauce. So I think that's funny. But anyway, I do use a lot of red and yellow together. The next part of it I'm using is the packaging technique, or smooching, and I'm just using both the same colours and adding that water, as you can see, and then just putting it around the layout. And that's creating my mixed media background. So I've just cleaned off that stencil, but you will see later on that I come back and add more into the layout because it gets covered up by all the pieces that are part of it. What I want to do now is I want to create that frame that she has around hers, and I'm doing it with the lead pencil, and I'm just marking in the line so I can line up my faux stitching stamp. So I like this stamp. This stamp's got like a crazy stitch on it, and I'm just going to use it to create my four-sided frame for the rest of the layout. And you can just see how it just comes together so nicely and looks so effective. And when it's completed, it looks like I've actually sewn the page. So that's a great stamp, and I'm just using it quite a lot, I find, because it just gives me the exact desired finish that I'm after. So I'm nearly finished here, and I really don't know what has happened to my stamp block. Usually I use my stamp platform, but when I'm doing things like this, I'll just go in and stamp it onto the layout. So you can see all the different types of stitches that are on that set of stamps, and they are very much a favourite. Next, I'm going to tear down my strips here, and you can see me doing that, and I'm going to layer them up just as Julie has on her layout, and they're going over to the left-hand side of the page. Now I'm going to use a border punch to create the effect. Now she has a scallop effect, an irregular scallop, and so I'm just going to use the flower daisy punch here so that I get a border. Now I want to add some more interest to it, so I'm going to bring in some black, and I'm using some black splatters here just to keep building up that background. Now I have used the centre from the frame of this layout to cut out these film strips, and I'm putting them in the same place as Julie has on hers, and obviously not the same materials. I'm putting in a bit of a washi there just to add that feature, and now I can layer up the papers that I need, and that's when you see that I need to actually go and add some more of these circles to my layout so that the paper doesn't cover them all. Now Julie has on hers a tag in the background behind her photo, so I am creating my own tag, and I'm using a punch there to cut out the circle which will go onto that tag, and in which I will punch a centre out of. And now I've created my own luggage tag, which you can see is very easy to do. And I've got that little strip of that gold paper there to carry it across the layout and continue the theme across the page, and that draws the eye quite naturally across it. So I'm going to layer up those two pieces of paper over that border punched piece, and then I've got my photo with the tag in behind. So now that I'm happy with the placement, I can put it down onto the layout. And this is where it gets tricky. I too am going to sew the straw into place, and I did that off screen so it went into place. I put a button to the top that I sewed, and that was how I could put my tassel to hang down my layout. Now with a acrylic pen here, it's an acrylic paint pen, I am just colouring in my chipboard so that it is the same colour that will fit onto the layout, and the word says wonderment, which is captures the moment of my daughter and son-in-law in the city during Lunar New Year this year. I stamped this circle tag with some text, a text stamp as a feature, and I'm just going to tuck in this this label tab underneath to, as I said, keep pretty close to what Julie has done on her layout. Now I have cut these out with my dies, and that allows me to just measure them and layer them in. Putting a little bit of glue into that tassel so it's not falling all over the place, but looks like it's swinging, and that creates another visual effect. She also had a bit of fibre, a ribbon in the stripe ribbon up there in hers, so I've added that into mine. And I have this tab as well, which I'm adding in to pretty much mimic everything she has on her layout. I like when you scrap lift, you do make them your own, and by that I've done it with my different sized photo, I've done it with the different type of frames, I've done it with a different mixed media approach, but it's all the elements are there, and you can see the original through this layout that I'm creating now. So I'm putting in a little micro tab here, a little tag, sorry, and I've just inked it just so that it stands out a little bit. And then I'm putting in another label frame here, and I'm going to pop up the panel so that it just pops over the top of that photo and adds itself as a feature to the layout. Now that I've done the basis of the layout, I can get into adding in the words and the title. Now, as I said, I've used chipboard here, and I did colour it with my acrylic pens. I love my acrylic paint pens. This one was a gold yellow, and it fits beautifully. It doesn't overpower the layout. I'm going to add some more of that jute that I tied on. Oh no, I didn't. I used eyelash fringe. There you go. Eyelash fringe to build that fibre in that top corner, just as Julie had the different fibre in her top corner. And I like that the eyelash fringe allows the colour to come through. So I've got lots of fibres to add texture to the layout, and now I'm just going to add word phrases to the layout as Julie has on hers. I have this stamp that has a whole range of different sayings on it, so it's a bit tricky, and I'm going to be rolling the stamp and just only inking the sections that I want for this layout. So that one there says be happy, and then I've got a whole lot of happy quotes that I'm putting around the layout, just in the same places that Julie has in hers, to keep true to the layout. You know, they're not little dreams. They're all related to my daughter and her husband, who, you know, first young marriage, very happy, living their life, dreaming of what's to come in the future. So it was really nice. And as I said, this was down in the city at the Lunar New Year, and this was one of the gateways that were leading into Chinatown, and it's just beautiful, and I was able to get it as a clear shot of just the two of them. So that's how this photo came about. And I just love that this layout is following the colours in that layout, and it really pops on this page. So the stamping allows that extra phrasing, it draws your eye around the layout, and it is tricky to find the right sentiments to add to your layouts at times, but I was very lucky this stamp set that I have purchased has quite a good range of little quotes to add in. So I'm coming together with this layout. I'm very pleased with it so far. I'm just adding in the date stamp there, and now I'm going to add some nuvos to help set up the visual triangle so that your eye roams around the layout quite naturally. And that's how this one has come together. Very messy, lots of mixed media on it, lots of different elements, and I really like how it came together. Not the same as Julie's, but similar in parts, difference in other parts, but you can see the core of the original in this layout, and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. So there are a lot of girls playing along. I will have all of their details down below. Please go and check them out and leave some love. Everybody loves to get a thumbs up, so hopefully I've done enough to earn a thumbs up from you. It lets YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. Thank you to all my subscribers. I hope I've done enough today to keep you inspired to get creative over the weekend. Don't forget, I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. I really would appreciate it if you haven't already subscribed to do so. Catch you in the next video, and here's my next recommendation. See you real soon.